Hello everyone, welcome to Mobilemaths with Kamchrai. So today I have the privilege to do June 2025 paper 2 with you. So this one we are going to be using some calculators or mathematical tables, but in my case I'm going to be using calculators. So let's jump into it. Okay, so the first question, we have got two sections, section A and section B. So I'm going to be answering all the sections, all the questions. Okay, so the first question is saying, estimate 1.98 plus 8.75 times 6.05 by first rounding. So first of all, we have to round off the given numbers to the nearest whole number. Okay, so you find out 1 is a whole number, then the 0.998 here is no longer a whole number, these are decimals. So rounding off the first one, 1.98 becomes a 2 because 9 is greater than 5, so it changes 1 to 2. Then plus 8.75, so we have a 7, it's greater than 5, so it rounds up 8 to 9, so I have a 9, then times 6.05, so here I have a 0, so I'm not going to round anything up, I'll leave it 6 as it is, so I'll have a 6, then everything is divided by 6.89, 6.88 here is above 5, so we round up 6 to become 7. So I have these numbers now. Now, when we are operating such a question, we have to first of all work this part using BOMDAS or else BODMAS. We also have BODMAS, so I can have either BOMDAS or BODMAS. People tend to confuse the two, so we use them all the time, but you can see that before I add or subtract, I have to multiply or divide. So here I have to multiply. So multiplying, I'll get 2 plus 9 times 6, I get 54. So I have 54 here divided by a 7. Now simplifying, 2 plus 54, that's 56. Then 56 divided by 7, we get ourselves in 8. So that's our final answer there. Moving on to the next question, number 1b. It's saying the side of a cube is 8.7 centimeters. So we have a cube given to the nearest millimeter. So these are rounded off numbers. Find the least possible volume of the cube. So least, we have to check which number is the least possible for 8.7 when we rounded it off to the nearest millimeter. So you find out 8.7 centimeter. The least possible number we can have is 8.65. If I have 8.65, I'll round this 6 to be a 7. So this is the least possible value for our side of the cube. If we were looking for maximum, I'll have like 8.7, then I can have a 4 here. Okay, because when rounding off, I'll still get 8.7. So this will be the maximum. Okay, so as we are using this one, so let's use that one and calculate. Volume of a cube, we know a cube has got 3 sides, so volume of a cube is equals to side by side by side. If we were to consider, we can even say length width times height, because our cube is normally like this. Our cube is like this. It will have the height, the width, and also the length there. Okay, so multiplying is the same as 8.65 cubed there. If we punch in our calculator, you get 647.2146. But our paper asks us to leave all answers to 2 decimal place. So this one is a 4. We can round this up to have 647.21. Our units were centimeters, so this becomes centimeter cubed. So that's the volume there. Let's move on to the next question. Number 1C is saying simplify this. So when you're answering this question, you multiply the bottom and add at the top. Multiply, add, multiply, add. So when I multiply and add, I'm going to get 2 by 4, that's 4 plus 1, I get 5 over 2, divided by this one, 3 by 4, that's 12 plus 3, I get myself 15 over 4, then plus 1 by 5, 5 plus 1, I get a 6 over a 5. Okay, then I have to solve this part first here because we are dividing, checking our body mass or our bomb dust. Okay, we are still going to divide first before we add. So I'm going to solve that part first. So I'll change the sign in this swap position. 4 goes up and we have 15 at the bottom. So I'll have 5 over 2 times a 4 over 15 now. Then we are still adding with our 6 over 5. I'm not going to leave it, but first I know I'm going to solve the multiplication part first. So dividing here, 2 can go into 2, 1, 2 into 4, 2, 5, 1, 5 into 15, 3. Okay, I know you can use a calculator, but I like to try to simplify things before I punch in a calculator. So this is like 1 times 2, 1 times 2 divided by 1 times 3. Okay, so in other words, I have got 2 over 3, then plus a 6 over 5. Okay, so that's basically what we have here. So we are now adding 2 over 3 plus a 6 over 5. I can have a lowest common multiple or LCD, lowest common denominator or LCM, is still the same. When I use LCD, I'm just saying lowest common denominator, LCM, lowest common multiple. So for these two, you find out it's 15. Okay, so when I have my 15, I'm going to say this is now all over 15. 3 into 15, that's a 5 by 2, okay, plus 5 into 15, that's a 3 by 6. So we have calculators that you can punch this whole thing directly and you can get the answer, but I'm going to do it the old-fashioned way so that you don't make mistakes. Others still learning how to use a calculator. So this is a 10 plus an 18 all over 15. Adding them together, I get 28 over 15. 28 over 15 is equal to 1 whole and remainder 13. So I'll just write 13 over 15 as my answer. So that's the final answer there. Let's move on to the next question. Okay, on the next question, we have got a Venn diagram. They are saying in a group of 160, Form 1 learners at a sports academy, all learners play at least one of the ball games, volleyball, netball, and tennis. So they have written N for netball, T for tennis, and V for volleyball there. Okay, 40 learners play netball. Okay, so we are told 40 play netball only, so they have filled this up. Then they say 25 play tennis only, then they've filled it up. So this is already filled up, filled up. Let's see, what's the question? They're saying the diagram above is an incomplete Venn diagram of the information. Copy and complete the Venn diagram by inserting the number of learners in each part of the set in terms of X. Okay, so that's basically what we are doing. So we were done with the first two. Let's look at the next one. 28 play volleyball only. It's already there, so this is fine. Then they say 50 play netball and tennis. Okay, so we have an intersection between netball and tennis. So how do we get this? We are going to say, remember we are using an x, so we can say this is going to be 50 minus an x, that's the intersection there. Then we have done this one. Then the next one is saying 35 play netball and volleyball. Netball and volleyball. So this one they've already completed for us. So we are not going to do anything. Then they said the next one, 30 play tennis and volleyball. So for tennis and volleyball, we are going to say 30 minus an x. Then X play all three games. This one they have filled it up for us. So we have completed everything on our Venn diagram, and you are going to get yourself some marks there. So there was 3 marks for just completing that. Now the next question is saying find the value of X. So the value of x, we know that they said all of these learners are 160. So our Venn diagram should add everything that is inside should give us 160. Okay, so we are going to use that information to generate an equation. So I'm going to say I've got my 40, so I'm going to add everything and should be giving me 180. So I've got 40 plus 50 minus x, then plus 25 plus x plus 35 minus x there, then plus 30 minus x, then plus 28. Then I'm saying all of this should give me 180. Okay, 160, sorry. Okay, so we add all of these. So having like terms together, I've got 40 plus 50 plus 25 plus 35 plus 30 plus 28. Okay, then the x, I've got minus x there, I've got plus x, then minus x and minus x there. Then this is all giving me 160. Adding together these ones, I'm getting 208. So this is 208, 208, and a minus 2x is equal to 160. Okay, simplifying, I'll get these two go that side and my x, my 160 this side, then it becomes minus 160. The 2x becomes plus 2x. Okay, so I'll have 208 minus 160 is now equal to 2x. Okay, so subtracting, I'm getting 48 here is equals to 2x. Dividing everything by x, by 2, sorry, dividing everything by 2, I get my x is equals to 24. Okay, so our x value is equals to 24. Okay, so it means at the center here, if we were to redraw the Venn diagram, let me just redraw it on the side here. If we were to redraw it, I'm going to get, I've got my netball, my intersecting there, my tennis, and then intersecting there down my volleyball. Okay, so 40, we know it's not going to change, so I'll just write it as it is. So I've got 40, 28, and 25, they are not going to change. X, we have 24, then 35 minus 14, we get 11, then 30 minus 24, that's 6, and 50 minus 24, that's 26. So these are the players that we have on our Venn diagram. Okay, so that's it. If we were asked to draw it, let's move on to the next question. Okay, the next question is saying the universal set is subsets A and B. So when they say subsets, it means the other sets A and B are part of the universal set. So first of all, when we are given such information, you have to rewrite the universal set so that you know. Here they said it's an element of real numbers. So it means our universal set is equal to, we are considering 1. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We are not going to go to 10 because they said is less than there, so we'll end at 9 there. Then we go to A. They said A is a set of odd numbers. So already I think this is the first question. List all elements of set A. So I'm just going to list it. So A has got elements of odd numbers that are inside here. You find I've got 1, I've got 3, 5, so I'm going to write them 1, 3. So you are taking inside here, not all the odd numbers you are going to think of. Then the next one is 5 and 7, and lastly we have got a 9. So these are the elements and you get yourself 2 marks. The next question is saying find n of A complement of intersection B there. So here I have to first of all write B so that I know what is B. B is going to be equal to, okay, before I do B, here we are saying what is not in A. So let me just write what is not in A. It's going to be 1 is there, so I've got a 2. What is not in A is 2. 3 we have, so we go to 4. Then 5 we have, then we go to 6. And then 8, 9, that's the last one. So this is what is not in A. Basically, this is what it means. When you see this thing, it just means what is not in A. Then for B, our B, they are saying factors of 10, meaning to say numbers that go into 10. So numbers that go into 10, 1 can go into 10, 2 can go into 10, and lastly 5 can go into 10. So these are the this is the information we have. Now let's answer the question. They are saying we are going to do A complement intersection B. What do we have? Things that intersecting, we are checking common things that are in A complement and B there. So I've got a 2, I've got a 2. Do I have anything else? I don't. So basically we have got, this is the set, it has got 2. Then when we have this n, we just want the number. So number of A complement intersection B is going to be equal to a 1. So that's our final answer. Then you get yourself 2 marks. Let's move on to the next question. Number 3, it's saying a rectangular vegetable garden has a length of that and a width of that. So basically, I can think of a rectangle, okay, and have those dimensions that they've given us. So this is 30.5 meters, and here that's 50.7 meters. Okay, then they say inside the garden there's a circular reservoir. So inside we have got a reservoir, so I can have my reservoir there, and they say it has a radius 1.4. So this is my 1.4 meters here inside. The remaining space is for growing vegetables. So all this other area, they are growing vegetable, except where we have our what? Our reservoir. Then they gave us take pi to be 22/7. That is important. The first question is saying calculate the area covered by the reservoir. So the area of a circle. So first part, area of a circle, area of a circle. We know area of a circle is pi r squared. So we are going to multiply, taking our pi to be 22/7 times the radius 1.4 squared. So we square and we punch in our calculator. So you find out here, if you punch in your calculator, me, I'm getting 6.16 meters squared. Okay, don't forget the units. So we are done with the first part. The next part, they are saying it costs this much to spray the space for growing vegetables. So all this space here is costing them that much. Okay, then they are saying find the cost per square meter of spraying the space for growing vegetables. So now to find cost per, it means it's over. So we are just looking for cost over our area. Square meter is basically area here. Okay, that's, remember, this is our square meter, so that's the area. So we must find also the area that we are growing vegetables, then we divide the money by that area. So let's find the area. How do we find the area? Remember, we've got a reservoir, so we are going to subtract our area of a reservoir from the rectangle area. So calculating, I'm going to say area of rectangle minus area of circle. Okay, our rectangle is the garden, our circle is our reservoir. Area of a rectangle is length times width minus the one for circle. We already have the value, so there is no need to calculate it. So calculating the area of our rectangle, we have got 50.7 times 30.5. Okay, we multiply and the answer we subtract by 6.16. Okay, so we are going to get the area. I'm getting 1546 0.35 to 2 decimal place minus the 6.16 there. It means my area where we are growing the vegetables is 1540.19 meters squared. So this is the area now. Coming back to our question, we said if we want to find the cost per square meter, I'm going to say cost, which is 38,507 divided by the area that I just calculated, which is 1540.19 m squared. Okay, so we divide. I'm getting $25 per meter squared. That's the answer there. Okay, because even if we had gotten some 0.00 here, they said to the nearest dollar, our question here we are getting 25.00 actually, so there is no need for us to be worried about rounding off. So let's move on to the next question. Okay, part B of the question, we have got this. They're saying the diagram shows a sector a or B of a circle, center 0 and radius r. The arc AB subtends an angle 60 degrees at the center of the circle. Take pi to be 22/7. Then they say the length of the arc, which is this AB side. So this length here is the length of the arc, which they are saying is 11 centimeters. Calculate the radius. We don't know the value of this radius. So for us, but we know this arc here is basically like the perimeter or the circumference of a circle. And we know the area for the formula for calculating perimeter or circumference is 2 pi r. 2 pi r, but there is an angle factor here. So what we are going to do, we utilize the angle into our formula. So we are going to say our arc or circumference, arc length. So we are going to say arc length is equal to, we have a 2 pi r, right? But the angle, we factor it into our formula. So we use theta over 360 degrees times our formula for arc length there. Then we substitute with the information we have. This is 60 degrees divided by 360 times 2 pi, 2 times pi is 22/7. Okay, times r, we don't know r. Then this is equal to 11. Okay, so what I do when I have such a question is this. Here I can divide, I can get a 6. So I have an equation like 11 is equal to 22/22 over 6 times 7, then times an r then. So for me to simplify my life, I'm going to multiply with the inverse of this, such that here I'll multiply by 6/7 over 2/22. Okay, then I do the same here, 6/7 over 2/22, like that, such that this side they cancel off like this. That's basically what I'm trying to do, so that when you are punching in your calculator, it's easy. So we have our r is equal to 6/7 by this 11 divided by 2/22. Okay, so you can even simplify further. 11 there, 1, 11 to 22. Then you simplify with your calculator. 6 times 7 divided by 2 times 2. I'm getting myself here 10.5 centimeters. So that's the length of our radius. Okay, we are done. Then the next question, they are saying, hence or otherwise calculate the area of the sector. So we now have the R, which is now equal to 10.5. Okay, area of a sector, we know area of a sector. Remember area of a circle, so we use the same formula. Area of a circle is pi r squared. Then as we don't have a complete circle, we are going to use this factor of our angle. So we do the same. Don't forget, that's basically how you remember these formulas. So I'm going to say area of sector is equal to, I have my pi r squared, then I have the factor of my angle, which is theta over 360. Then we multiply them together like that. That's basically how you do the formulas. So even if you knew it was a quarter, you just say 1 over 4 times pi r squared. So simplifying, I've got 60 over 360 times my pi 22 over 7 times r, which is 10.5 squared. Okay, 10.5 squared. So 60 there, 6. So I have 22 times 10.5 squared divided by 6 times 7. Okay, simplifying this, I'm getting my area is 57.75 centimeter squared. That's my area there. Okay, let's move on to the next question. We are now on number 4. Number 4 is saying the cost C, okay, for a birthday party at a lodge is partly constant. So basically, when they say partly constant, you know you are going to generate an equation. Partly constant and partly varies with the number n there. Then they say of people attending, if there are 5 people attending, the cost is that. And then if there are 13 people attending, the cost is that. First question, express the cost C in terms of n, constant h, and k. So they even gave us the constants. Okay, so for this, we are going to say C is equal to h plus kn. That's basically how we generate that. So we already have our mark there. Then the next question, so this is 1. The next question, item 2, is saying find the value of h. Now we generate equations. So the first thing, we are given c, n as 5 there. So I'm going to say my n is 5. And then we are given cost is 700. So I'm going to say 700 is equal to h plus 5k. That's equation 1. Then the next one is 1340 and n is 13. So I say 1340 is equal to h plus 13k. Okay, this is my equation 2. Okay, now we simplify. I can simply subtract these two equations, but I want to make my life easier for myself. I want these numbers, these big numbers, to be at the top. So I'll rewrite it. There's no need for me to even put the dollars. I can just say 1340 is equals to h plus 13k. So remember, this is equation 2. Then I've got 700 is equal to h plus 5k. Okay, now I can simplify. This is equation 1. Now it's easy for me to simplify when it's like this. I hope you can all agree with me. So I have a plus, so I can subtract. So I'm going to subtract 1340 minus 700. I'm getting 640. Okay, then is equals to h minus h, we get a 0. Then 13 minus 5, we get 8k. Dividing by 8, our k is equal to 80. Okay, so when we have our k, we can now rewrite this, okay, and say, oh, we have our k, only we need also h. So let's find h. I'm going to use the smaller one. Using the smaller one, equation 1, 700 is equals to h plus 5k. We know its value 80. So by 80, okay, so I can multiply and get this value and take it that side. So I'll have 700 minus 5 by 80, that's 400, is equals to h. So my h value is equal to a 300. So we have all the values now. Now I can rewrite my equation that connects h, k, n, and c. It's going to be c is equal to our h 300 plus 80n. So this is the relationship, or can be formula. Sometimes we can say law, we can say formula, we can say relationship. Okay, all those words, they are used to describe this. Okay, Now, the last question they are saying, calculate the cost of 25 people. So our n is 25. So let's go and calculate. So remember our equation is C is equals to 300 plus 80n, and our n is equals to 25. So we simply substitute and find our cost in dollars. Okay, so our C is going to be equal to 300 plus 80 times 25. Okay, so we multiply here. Then our C is going to be equal to 300 plus 80 times 25, that's a 2000. So the cost basically is going to be 300 plus 2000, that's 2300. So that's going to be the cost if you have 25 people. It even costs more. You can check the question. Let's move on to the next question. We are still on variation. Okay, so here they say P varies directly. So when they say varies, we use this sign with Q. So I can say the first part, that's even the first question. Find the formula connecting P and Q. Okay, so we are saying P varies. So we write our P and we say P varies directly with Q like that. Then we are given this information. So we need to find the value of a constant. Introducing a constant here, I'll get P is equals to KQ. Okay, P is 12, so I can say 12 is equal to Q, that's a 5K. Now, dividing every side by 5, I'm getting my K is equals to 12 over 5, 12 over 5. I don't want to simplify it. I can rewrite my equation, which they say formula connecting actually. So the formula is P is equals to KQ, right? So we are now putting K, we put this value, so I can say it's P is equals to 12 over 5Q, like that. It's fine as it is, you get your 3 marks. Then the next question they say, calculate the value of Q when P is 42. So we want Q when P is 42. I will use this relationship or formula to find that value. So I will say P, that's 42, is equal to 12 over 5 by Q. To get rid of this, I'll multiply by its inverse, like this 5. I'll just come and multiply by 5 over 12. And I also do the same this side, 5 over 12. So that this side, they cancel off each other. So I'll get my Q is equals to 5 times 42, 5 times 42 divided by 12. Okay, adding and multiplying here, 5 by 42, I'm getting my Q is equals to 17.5. Okay, that's the value of Q there, and you get yourself 2 marks. Wow. Let's move on to the next question, number 5. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, guys, is I'm going to explain how to do this question. Then I'm going to sit down and do it. Then I'll send you the solution after this explanation before I go to number 5. So let's do this. When you are answering such a question for construction, my advice is whenever you get a question, before you even construct, sketch it to see how it looks and try to put your angles at the bottom. So for here, they said we have got triangle ABC. AB is that, so I can have my AB. Then they say angle at B is 45. So it means my angle at B, I can have this my A, have this as my B. Angle at B is 45 degrees. So here should be 45 degrees. Then they say angle BA, meaning to say angle at A is 60. So I will have something like this and have my 60. Then we go to C. Okay, so let's construct, and you are getting yourself 5 marks for that. Okay, so I'm going to straight line. So I'm going to draw my straight line. So this is my first straight line, and I'm going to mark a point which I'm going to say point A. So this is my point A. Okay, so when I have point A, we are given that AB is 10 centimeters. So I will measure 10 centimeter on my ruler. This is how you measure it. So normally I place this sharp point on the mark of 10, then I take the pencil to 0 there. Okay, so this is basically it. Now I'll go to A, and I'm going to draw an arc to find my B position. So this is where I have my B, so I'll write my B. Okay, so this is 10 centimeters. Then we are to construct, there's angle BAC, which is 60 degrees. So we have to construct 60 degrees here. So now I'm going to construct 60 degrees. So this is how we construct our 60 degrees. Then I come at this point. Okay, like that. So this is the point where my angle is going to pass through. I'm using a pen so that you can see. So it's going to pass through here. Okay, then you draw strong longer lines. Then it means my C is going to lie on this line. Now we have constructed 60 degrees. We can even label 60 degrees here. Then we have angle on B, which is 45 degrees. So I'm going to construct 45 on B. So I'm going to draw arc like this, another arc like that. Now I've got my two arcs. I can come at this point here and open like that. I can even do the same at the bottom like that to construct 90 degrees, and here and also here. Now I've constructed my 90 degrees. So ideally this is where I'm supposed to have my 90 degrees. I'm going to use a pencil so that I have my 90 degrees. Okay, so this is where my 90 degrees is lying. Then on the 90 degrees I must bisect this angle so that I get 45 on this side. So I'm going to bisect it. So I'll have an arc there, an arc there. Then I'll bisect. I'm going to open a little bit larger, opening. Then I also come at this point and I construct there. So here, that's where I have my joint. So B is going to pass through there to get to C. So I will draw, and you check. This is how you draw, so that you check it's passing through the points. Then it's like this. So where these lines, angle 60 and angle 45 here, where they meet, that's where we have our C. So we have constructed and we have our 5 marks by just doing this. Okay, then the next question B is saying, construct the locus of points that are 4.5 centimeter from B. 4.5 centimeter from B, it means it's a circle. So you have to have your 4.5. So I'm going to measure my 4.5 radius. Then I draw my circle on B. So let's draw my circle on B. So my circle will be like this. Okay. So this is my circle like that. So I know that from B to this edge is 5 centimeters. Okay, then 4.5 centimeters. Then the next question is saying 1.5 centimeter on line AB, which is this line, and on the same side as C, which is this side. So you're not going to draw two parallel lines on this, but rather you are going to have parallel line on the side where we have our C. So I will measure my 1.5 centimeters on my ruler, and I draw my two arcs. So 1.5. So this is my 1.5 centimeter, this small, okay? So I have my 1.5 there on A, and I'll do the same for point B. Okay, so these are my two. So let me use a different color so that you guys can see. So this is the parallel line. Then I draw it long enough. So this is my 1.5. So from here to there, it's 1.5 centimeters. Okay, so we have done everything. Then the next question is saying, we have got point P that is going to lie in such that inside the triangle, so it's going inside here, and such that BP is less or equal to 4.5. So it means it's less than this circle. That's the first point. Then the other point is saying P is greater or equal to 1.5. So it's within the circle but greater than 1.5. So you find out we are within the circle, which is inside the triangle here, then above 1.5, which is above this red line. So it means it's lying inside here. Then they say shade clearly the region, so you can come and shade this region here. Okay, so this is where our P is. So you can even label for them so that they see it's P there, like that. Then the last question, measure and write down the length AC. So our AC, I'm going to measure our AC. Our AC is 7.6. I'm getting 7.6. So AC, if you do it correctly, I'm getting 7.6. So it will have a region, like in our case, it can be from 7.5 to 7.8. Okay, so but I'm getting 7.6 centimeters. Okay, now on section B, number 6, for this one, what we do, we first of all find, you see we have got a 4, a 3, and this one we can assume we have got over 1. So you find the common multiple or lowest, we can say lowest common multiple or lowest common denominator of all of these number. In my case, it's going to be a 12. So I'll multiply each term by 12. So I'll say 12 by 2a plus 3 divided by 4, then plus 12 by a minus 5 over 3, then is equal to 1 over 1 times a 12 again. This helps me so that I've simplified it nicely. 4 into 12, that's a 3. 3 into 12, that's a 4. Okay, so we can simplify now. So I've got a 3 multiplying 2a plus 3 there, then plus 4 multiplying a minus 5. This is equal to 1 times 12, that's a 12. So now we can remove the brackets. 3 by 2a, that's 6a, plus 9 is equals to 4a, sorry, that's not is equals to, plus here, plus 4a minus 20 there is equal to 12. Okay, so 6 plus 4, that's 10a. 9 minus 20, that's a minus 11, is equal to 12. Okay, taking 11 to this side, it becomes a plus 11. So I'll have 10a is equals to 23. Okay, dividing all the sides by 10, I'll get 10 into 23, that's a 2. So our a is equals to 2 whole, and we have a remainder of 3, which I can say 3 over 10. That becomes our final answer. We have solved the equation. Okay, moving on to the next question. It is given that m is equals to that. Find the value of m when n is 60 and p is 45. So you are just substituting on the equation. So I've got m is equals to n. I'm now putting a 60. 60 divided by n 60 plus a p 45. Okay, simplifying this, I'll get 60 over 105. Okay, so this is 4 over 7. So our m is equals to 4 over 7. Then we go to the next question because they said give the answer as a fraction in its lowest term. Okay, we are not giving it as a decimal. The next question they are saying make n the subject of formula. So we have the same equation, m is equals to n over n plus p. Okay, so we want to make n the subject. So first of all, I will do away with this denominator. I will multiply all the sides by n plus p. Okay, by n plus p. Such that here they cancel off each other, and this side I have m multiplying by n plus my p. And we are saying it's equal to n there. Okay, removing brackets, I get mn here plus n plus mp, okay, is equals to n. So I have to take this n to that side. So I have mp is equals to n. This becomes a minus mn. So I have minus mn there. And we have a common factor. If you can check, I've got an n there, so I can factor out n. Factoring out n, I'll get mp is equal to n out. Here I have a 1 minus an m. But we want to remain with m on the side, so I can divide by 1 minus m over here by 1 minus m. This side they cancel, and we get our n is equals to mp over 1 minus m. That's the final answer there. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Okay, for this one, we have got a log, which is saying log 3 bracket x minus 2 to the power of 2 is equals to 3. So here you just use the log formula. We have a law that says log of b, log of a base b is equals to c. You can raise the base to this power. So you can say a is equals to b to the power of c, like that. So I'll do the same. I've got log 3, so I'm going to say my 3 to the power of 2. So I'll have, simplifying this becomes x minus 2 squared is equal to 3 squared, like that. Okay, so simplifying here, I've got x minus 2 bracket x minus 2 is equal to a 9. X times x, that's x squared, minus x by minus 2, that's 2x. By minus 2, that's minus 2x again, then plus a 4 is equal to a 9. Okay, simplifying, I'm getting x squared minus 4x, then plus 4. Then this 9 goes this side, it becomes a minus, then minus 9 is equals to a 0. Simplifying, that's x squared minus 4x minus 5 is equals to 0. So I'm going to look for a number that when I add, I get minus 4x. When I multiply, I'm going to get minus 5x squared. So the number that I can think of is minus 4x and minus 5x here. If I have 4, it will not work. So let's say minus 5x here and plus 1x. Okay, plus 1x. So that's the number that we are going to use. Using that, I'll rewrite this equation for this part with these values there. So that becomes x squared minus 5x plus 1x minus 5 is equal to 0. Factorizing here and there, I have a common factor of x. I will remain with x minus 5. And here I will get plus 1 out. I will have x minus 5 is equals to a 0. So that is x plus 1 and x minus 5 is equals to 0. And we can say, to get our answer, I can say either x plus 1 is equals to 0 or x minus 5 is equal to a 0. So simplifying here, taking 1 that side becomes minus 1. So x is equals to minus 1, or taking this one becomes plus, so our x is also equal to a 5. So these are our solutions for that question. So this is the simpler way that I prefer to avoid making mistakes, but we also have another formula. If I have this one, I can find square root of that. I can find square root of that. Finding square root, they will be cancelled, and we get x minus 2 is equal to square root of 3 squared, that's a plus or minus 3 there. So I'll have plus or minus 3. So I'll have either x minus 2 is equal to plus 3, or x minus 2 is equals to minus 3, like that. Solving this one, it goes and becomes plus. So I'll have x is equals to 5. And this one, it goes and becomes plus. I'll have x is equals to minus 1. So that's another simpler way of getting it. So the main problem was here. Okay, if you understand your logarithms, then everything will be fine. Okay, so let's move forward. Guys, now we are on number 7. So we have a group of 100 Form 2 learners and are asked to give ages in years for their grandfathers. So they are like ranging from 50 to 80 there. So that is the range we are having for these grandfathers. And we are given the frequency to say of 50 to 55, how many do we have? We've got 6. Then the first question is saying estimate the mean age. Okay, so what we are going to do is we have to first of all find the average of the age range. So you say 50 plus 55, we divide by 2. So I'll say 50 plus 55 divided by 2. That's our mean age average here. I get 52.5. For this one, I get 57.5. For this one, 62.5, and this one, 67.5, and here 72.5, and lastly 77.5. Now we are going to multiply this with the frequencies like that. Then we get answers and we divide by the total number of 100 there. Okay, so multiplying, what are we going to get? So 52.5 times 6, I'm getting, you can double check for me, I can make a mistake. So I'm getting 315 plus 57.5 times 10, that's 575, plus 62.5 times 22, I'm getting 1,375, plus 67.5 times 32, I'm getting 2,160, plus 72.5 times 20, I have got 1,450, plus the last one, 77.5 times 10, that's 775. Then we add all of these and we divide by 100. So adding here, I'm getting a total of 6,650 divided by 100. So our mean average is 66.5 years. Okay, so that is our mean average, 66.5 years. Let's move on to the next part. So after having our frequency, we can get our cumulative frequency. How? I've got x to 0, we have 0. Then the x 50 to 55, we've got 6. So you say 0 plus 6, we get this one. Then to get this one, we are saying 6 plus 10. Then we get 16. Then to get this one, we are saying 16 plus 22. Then we get 38. Then to get our P, which is the question here, you are going to say 38 plus 32. So we have got 38 plus 32. 2 plus that one, that's a 70. So we have a 70. You can double check. If I have P as 70, I'm going to add 20, I'll get 90. And 10, I get 100. So that's how we get our P. Then the next question is saying, answer this part on the graph paper. So we are going to answer this graph paper question on a graph paper. So they are saying using a scale to represent 5 years on the x-axis. So on horizontal, we have got years, which is our age, and we go to vertical, that's going to be our cumulative frequency. So on the horizontal, we are saying one box is 5 years, so we'll be having 5, 10, and so on. Then on the vertical, they are saying use 20, so we have 20, 40, and so on. Okay, so let's do the graph on the graph question paper. Graph, part C. So on the horizontal axis, so I'm going to draw on this part here. I'm going to, so that you can see, and I can also do my workings. Okay, so you find out on my graph, I've got 100, 80, 60, 40, 20, so I can even start from down here. Okay, so let me just work it from here. Okay, so I'm working it from here like this. Okay, so on this side, it's our cumulative frequency, so I can write cumulative frequency. Okay, then on the horizontal, we have got our age, and our age is in years. Okay, like that. Then on the vertical here, we are starting from 0 and we are moving. They said we are using a scale of 2 centimeters, which is this box here. It's 20, so I can say 20, 40, 60, 80, and 100 there. Okay. Then on the horizontal, you find out our edges are starting from 50 going to 80. So there is no point to start at 0, otherwise the graph will not be enough. So what you do, you write this up down here like this. It means there are some values. Then I'll start on this box here. I'm going to start on 50. Then I'll say 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, and we are done. Okay, now let's mark the points. The first point is on 50, we have 0, so it means here it's there. Then 55, it's on 6, so my boxes are like this. 5 boxes is 10. 5 boxes is 10 here. So 6 is going to be like 3 boxes up, so I'll go 3 boxes up there. Then I go for 60, it's 16. Then here we said it's 10. Then I'm going to add 3 more boxes. So it means it's going to be up here. Then I go to 65, it's 38. This is 40. I go down by, I'm going to go down by, we are saying 38. So that's by 1 box. Okay, by 1 box. Then 70 is going to be 70, we are saying 70, it's on 70. So I need to go on 70, which is 50, 60, 70, halfway here. Okay. Then 75 is on 90, which is here. Okay. Then 80 is 100. So this is basically us. And when you are now drawing your curve, I rather you do it like this. This is how you draw a curve. So I can do this. Okay. I can do this such that I come up with a nice curve. And normally I would prefer you turn it around like this. When you turn it around, then you can now plot the other sides, because I'm saying you do this clockwise. So I will do the same this side like that. So that's basically how we plot our graph, and we are done. Now the next question, they are saying from this graph, find or determine the median. Median, we have got a formula that we can use. For our median, we can say n, we are answering number D, item 1, median. Median, we can use the formula n plus 1 over 2. So I'm going to find the nth term plus 1 over 2. The nth term, we have got 100 plus 1. So the 100 plus 1 divided by 2, that will give me 50.5 the term. Okay. So I'll go on 50.5 the term. You find out my 50 is here. 0.5 is just slightly that box. So I'll draw a horizontal line. So in between here, I'll draw my horizontal line. Okay, on the 50th 0.5 the term. Then I will go down here. I'm going to go down horizontal, vertically. So I'm going to go down. Okay, going down. You find out this is my Q2 here. I'm calculating Q2. So this is the point where we have. So my years are like 50, 65, 67, 68, 65 here, 66, 67, 68, 69. So this is 67. Okay, so we can say the median is 67 years. From there, okay, let's go to the next question. They are saying find the interquartile. So interquartile is normally our IQR. Interquartile range. We find it by calculating Q3 minus Q1. How do we find Q3? Q3, we have got a formula which is n 3 times n plus 1 over 4. then minus for Q1 it's 1 over 4 n plus 1, like that. So it's like I'm finding my this term and also this term, then I subtract them. Okay, so for this one, 3 times 101 divided by 4, I get 75.75, the term. Then for the next one, I get minus for 25.25, the term. So these are the terms that we are going to look for on our graph. So let's look for those terms. 25, this is 20, and 25 is 0.5 here on the in between here. Then I'll go 0.25 slightly above. Then I draw my horizontal line again. I'll draw my horizontal line. So this is my horizontal line. Okay, or for my Q1. Then I go down when I meet this curve. So I'm going down here. When I go down, I'm getting, this is 60, 61, 62. So it's 62.5.67, somewhere there. So 25 is 62 point, we said 0.5, 62.5 or 0.7 there. Okay, yes. Then we go for the other Q3, which is 75 to 10, 60, 75 is in between, then 0.75 is closer to the other line. So I'll draw my horizontal line. Okay, so this is my Q3. Then when it meets the line, the curve, I draw a vertical line. Then it will be like this. Where it touches here, that's where I have my years. So here I've got 71.5. 71.5. This is 71.3 actually. Okay, 71.3. So my answer here is 8.8. 8.8 here. Okay, guys, this is our question number 8, where we have Mr. Doe wants to plant peas and beans in the 5 hectares. So we have this information that they gave us. I'm going to read it as I'm doing the question on my graph paper and developing some inequality equations. So we are given Mr. Doe who wants to plant peas and beans in his 5-hectare field. Peas need 4 bags of fertilizer per hectare, and beans need 2 kgs of fertilizer per hectare. He has 16 bags of fertilizer. He needs to plant at least 1.5 hectares. Okay, so they even tell us that X is going to represent our beans on the question, and then Y is going to represent peas. So that is very important. So we have to generate our inequality equations from the information. So the first information we are given that he has 5 hectares and he wants to plant peas and beans. So it means the first equation we can come up with is X plus Y should be less or equal to 5 hectares. Okay, then the next thing they are talking about, peas need 4 bags of fertilizers per hectare, and beans needs 2 bags of fertilizer per hectare. Okay, so it means I've got 4x plus 2y, and we are saying he has 16 bags in total. So these, when we add them together, they should be less or equal to 16 bags of fertilizer. Then we move on to the other conditions. They are saying he needs to plant at least 1.5 hectares of beans. So our x should be greater or equal to 1.5. Then for the last one, which is for beans, you need to at least have 1 hectare of peas. So that's y should be greater or equal to 1 hectare. So these are the 4 equations that we are going to be using. These ones are straight lines, they are okay to deal with. Then these ones I'm going to draw some tables so that we can use. For x plus y is less or equal to 5, I can have it like this, so I can write x plus y is equal to 5, then I can come up with a table. So my table will have x values and y values, I take my x to be 0 and I also take my y to be 0. So when x is 0, y is 5. When y is 0, x is 5. So that's the first line. Then the other line for this equation, I can also say the same. 4x plus 2y is equal to 16. And have my x and y values. So x, y, I can have 0x, 0y, and even more. Okay? So, in my case, when x is 0, y is going to be 16 divided by 2, that's 8. That's a big number. I don't want to use it. Then, when y is 0, x is going to be equal to 4. But I can try to use another number. Let's say when x is 2, this is going to be 8. We subtract 16 minus 8. So I will have 8 plus 2y is equals to 16. So 2y is equals to 16 minus 8. I get 2y is equals to 8. So my y becomes equal to a what? A 4. I think these are easy to use. So let's now draw our graph using these points. Okay. So drawing my graph on my, I'm going to use this side. I know, okay, let me do it so that you guys will not complain. Okay, so I'll have this there, or vertical, and then my horizontal, this one. Okay, like this. So, this is my 0, and the axis, they said you are going to use 2 centimeter, one box like this is 1 unit on all axes. Then they gave us all conditions are starting from 0 going this side, so there was no need to have that graph where I have like this x and my y going to negative values. Already they gave us the conditions, so we can do away with that. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 4, so on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and so forth. Then on the horizontal, it's beans. And on the vertical, it's peas. Okay, like that. Then the first lines we have, I've got a line of, I've got this line of y is greater or equal to 1, y is greater or equal to 1.5. Sorry, y is greater or equal to 1, so that's my first equation. So I will come here and draw my y. So it's a bold line because it's considering equal sign. Then which side is not wanted? You find out the bottom side is not wanted. So this is my unwanted region. This is my unwanted region. I can even label this. This is y is greater or equal to 1. I go to the next one. X is greater or equal to 1.5. X 1.5. So it's also a bold line. So I will draw my bold line. Okay, so it means this side is not wanted because we want greater than. So this is my unwanted region, this side. Okay, I can label my graph. This is y, x is greater or equal to 1.5. Okay, fine. Let's move on to the next ones. The next ones, I've got those points for my x plus y is equals to 5 or greater than, less than or equal to 5. 0, 5. X is 0, y is 5. So I have this point, and then 0, 5 here. So I've got my 2 points which I'm going to draw using those 2 points. These 2 points. So this is my line. Then to check for unwanted region, I will take any point. I'm going to take 1, 1, which is this side, and put on this equation. So when x is 1 plus 1, it's going to be less or equal to 5. So this is the wanted region. If I was going to get a number greater than 5, then it means it's unwanted region. Okay? Because it will not be satisfying this condition. Like for example, if I take 5 and 5, it will be 5 plus 5 is less or equal to 5. It will not satisfy. That's what I'm talking about. So it means our unwanted region is this region, upper top here, and we can also label our equation. It's x plus y is less or equal to 5. Then the last one, which is this one, I'm said I'm taking these points because my graph is ending on 7, but I can actually include 8 here. Let me include it. So I can even have 8. So I'll have 8 here and 0. And 4 and 2, 4 and 2, this point, 4 and 2. X is 2, y is 4, so it's up here, sorry. It's up here, at this point. Then the last one is x is 0. So the last point is when x is 0, we did that one, it's 8. So it's when y is 0, it's 4, this one. Okay, so our line is going to pass through these points. So when you're drawing straight line, you just need 2 points. They are enough. Okay, so this is my other graph. And my unwanted region, I can do the same. Take 1, 1, or even 2, 2. I can even take 2, 2 into this equation. So I have got 4 by 2 plus 2 by 2 is less or equal to 16. This is 8 plus 6 is less or equal to 16. So this is a 14. It's less than 16. So it's a wanted region. So this side here is wanted region. So we can shed the unwanted, which is this one. Okay. And label our graph. This is a graph of 4x plus 2y is less or equal to 16. Okay. Now we are done. So it means our solution is going to lie here. That's where our solution is going to lie. They even ask us the next question. The estimated profit is $30,000 for beans. So for beans, we know we are going to have, okay, so they even gave us that we have got, for beans, its profit, beans, it's our X, its profit is 30,000. For peas, Y, its profit is 40,000, okay, per hectare. Now, what this means is this. When I come to my solution, because they are all bold lines, I can take even at the edges. I want to make y greater than x. Why? Because it has got much more money than x. So I want my y to be greater. So the points that I can think of or find is this point here, where I have my x is equal to 1.5 and my y is equal to 3.5. So I can multiply by 40,000 by 30,000 here and find the total. So I'm getting a total of, if I multiply here, 1.5 by 30,000, that's 45,000, plus 3.5 by 40,000, that's 140,000. Okay, adding this, that will give me $185,000. Okay, then if you want to try, you can check another number like this point. I have x is equal to a 2, y is equal to a 3. So multiplying by 30,000 here and here by 40,000, we find out I'll get for this one 60,000 plus for this one 120,000. Total becomes 180,000. So it's now less than this. That's why I'm saying the maximum we can get is going to be when y is made greater. So that becomes our final solution there, guys. Let's move on to the next question. Okay, so for number 9, we are answering it on a graph paper. Please take note 2 centimeter is 1 unit. So we are answering all this question on the graph paper. So let's answer it on the graph paper. I'm going to draw my graph here. Okay. So they gave us that my x is going to start from 0, so I don't need this other side, but I'll start here anyway. So I'll start here. Let me use a pencil. Okay, now we're on number 9. So I'm starting my graph. So this is my y-axis. And then my x-axis is starting from -4. So I think 1, 2, 3, 4, it will fit. Okay, like this. Okay, it will fit. So labeling, I've got -1. This is x-axis, y-axis, -1, -2, -3, -4. And the 0 here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then this other side, we are going from 0 to 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a 7, like that. That was the maximum x they gave us. Then the first thing they said, draw the quadrilateral ABCD with those vertices. A is 3, 2, 3 and 2 here. So that's my A. Then B is on 4 and 2. So that's my B here. Then C is on 4 and 3. 4 and 3. That's my C here. Then D is on 3 and 4. So this is where I have my D. So this is my quadrilateral with these vertices. Okay, so let's finish it. So this is basically what we have. We've got like a trapezium. Okay, we are done. The next question they are saying, draw quadrilateral A1, B1, C1, D1. It's under translation by a vector of 3 minus 5. So when you have 3 minus 5, it means I'm moving 3 in the x direction and minus 5 in the y direction. So let's move and have that. So I'm going to move. For A, that's 1, 2, 3. I go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It means A is going to be here, A1. I do the same for B, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So it's going to be here, B1. I do the same for C, 1, 2, 3. I go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So C is here. So even if I have these, I can finish the rest. I know it will be here because I know this shape, or you can even count, it will still be fine. So I know my D1 is going to be here. Okay, so this is the final shape we have here. Okay, we have our final shape there. Okay, we are done. Let's move on to the next question. The next question they are saying, draw quadrilateral. So we are drawing again a quadrilateral. We are given the vertices of that quadrilateral. So let's draw the quadrilateral. It's 1 and 1/2. So it's 1 and 1/2. That's your A2. 1 and 1.5 and 1. So that's my A2 here. Then my B2 is 2 and 1. So it's here. Then my C2 is 2 and 2 and 1/2. So it's going to be here. So that's my C2. Then lastly, my D2 is 1.5 and 2. So my D2 is here. So this is what I have here now. So this is the quadrilateral we now have. Okay. Like that. Then they say describe fully the single transformation that maps this quadrilateral AB onto this one into this. So what you do is this: you take a ruler and join corresponding lines, points. So here I'm joining D and D, and I draw my long lines. Okay, like this. I can join A and A, or B and B, or any points you want, but I'm gonna take here B and B. Okay, taking B and B here, I'll draw like this. So you find out they are going to meet at this point, and you can see that this D2 is moving from D by being a smaller factor here. So if I'm to describe that transformation, I can say it is, number one, it's enlargement. Okay, it's enlargement. Then number two, I must state the center of enlargement. So center of enlargement is 0, 0, or you can even say origin. Then the last point, we must have the enlargement factor. So we can say enlargement factor or scale factor. Scale factor is, how do you get the scale factor? What you do is this: you open from your center, your compass. I'm going to take point B, and I'll do this. You see, I've marked a point there of B. I'll go to B. You find out from 0 to this original B, it's moving 2. Then from the image, it's moving 1. So it's like 1/2. Okay? So it means my enlargement, my scale factor is 1/2, like that. And because it's going to be a smaller there, we are just saying it's gonna be just half there. Okay? Like that. Then if it was going to come this other side, then you put a minus. Okay, fine. Let's move on to the next question. They are saying draw the image of the quadrilateral under 90 degrees clockwise rotation about the center 1, 1. So we have a center 1, 1. This is my center 1, 1. Okay, I'm going to rotate 90 degrees. So what I do is this: I'll take points, various points. So first of all, I can take point A. Let me take point A. I'll draw my straight line to this point. So I'll draw my straight line to this point. I'm going to measure myself. I'm going to measure 90 degrees on this line. So I'm going to measure 90 degrees on this line and see where is my 90 degrees going to pass through. 90 degrees is going to pass through here. Then I draw another line. Okay? I draw another line like that. Then I will come and go on my center for A point. I'm shifting A point. I check its opening, it's this. Then I can draw my axe like this. So it means it's rotating like this. So it's gonna be here. So I'll have my A1, A3 here. Okay, so this is the point for A3. I do the same for D. Let me do for D. D, I draw a straight line. I measure my 90 degrees. I'm going to measure my 90 degrees. Okay, 90 degrees is going to pass through here. Okay, then I draw my other straight line from this point and my center there. Okay, so I'm drawing this point like that. Okay, I hope it's correct like that. Then I'm going to also draw its arc. So I'll come and go to its opening here, to the position where it is exactly, like that. Okay, then I'll draw a circle. Okay, like this. So it means my D is going to pass through this point here. This is going to be my D3. I do the same for C. I do the same for C. I'll go for C. Okay, I measure 90 degrees. I measure 90 degrees. So 90 is passing through here. And I'll draw my straight line from there, from my center to that point here. Okay, then I'll draw my curve again from C, point C. Let's see where is C, somewhere there. I draw again another arc, so it's also passing through the same point. Then our C is supposed to be here. Okay, so I know my C is there. Then automatically A is coming here. And B is coming there, B3. Okay, because I know my shape already. So even if you do for 3 points, you should be in a position to finish the rest. So this is basically how it's supposed to go and look like that. So we have transformed A to there. So you can see it was shifting like this. So initially it was like this, then it changes like this because of 90 degrees. Then lastly, they are saying, write down the matrix representing stretch vector. Okay, so what we know about stretch vector, our stretch vector is K, 0, 0, K. This is our stretch vector matrix. Then they are saying we are stretching parallel to x-axis. So this is our x-axis, and this will be your y-axis. So if we are stretching by a factor of 3 in x-axis, so it means this k becomes a 3. So our matrix is 3, 0, 0, 1. This is the final answer we are having. Okay, let's move forward. Okay, on number 10, we are saying we have matrix A, B, and C. Then the first of all said find 3A minus B. So for us to do that, we rewrite our matrix. So it's going to be first question, 3 by A minus 3 minus 2, then 4 and 1, then minus a B, which is 4, 2 minus 1 and 5. So what we do on this question, we have to first of all multiply the scalar inside. So 3 is our scalar. So we multiply inside 3 by minus 3, that's minus 9. 3 by 4, that's a 12. 3 by minus 2, that's a minus 6. 3 by 1, that's a 3. So we have simplified or multiplied our scalar. Now we can subtract. When we are subtracting, we subtract corresponding elements such that I will have a minus 9 minus 4. So I'll rewrite it that way so that it's easy for you to understand and follow. So I'm going to have, first of all, minus 9 minus a 4. Then on the other corner, I have 12 minus a 1 minus a minus 1. This is a minus 1. Then I have a minus 6 minus a 2. Then lastly 3 minus a 5. Then we simplify. Simplifying this, minus 9 minus 4, that's a minus 13. Then minus 6 minus 2, that's a minus 8. Then we have 12 minus minus 1, that's 12 plus 1, we get a 13. Then lastly 3 minus 5, that's a minus 2 there. Okay, I hope that's correct. 3 minus 5, that's a minus 2. Okay, that's correct. So that's our final answer there. Okay. Now we move on to the next question. They are saying BC. So we have a B. I'm going to work it here. Second question, BC. That's 4, 2, and minus 1 and 5. We are multiplying with a minus 2 and 3. So before you do anything, you check if it's possible to multiply these values. So here it's a 2 by 2 matrix multiplying with a 2 by 1 matrix. This is row by column. Okay, row by column. So what happens is if we have similar numbers here at the center, it means we can multiply. Then your answer is going to be these two numbers. So it's going to be a 2 by 1 matrix. Okay, so let's do our row by column. So I'm doing row by this column. Let's do that. So it's going to be 4 by 4 times minus 2. Let me write a minus with a bracket, minus 2. Then plus minus 1 here, minus 1 by a 3. That's the first part. Then we do another row by column. That's a 2 by minus 2. Then plus a 5 by a 3. Okay, then we simplify this. Simplifying, we are getting 4 by minus 2, that's a minus 8, plus minus 1 by 3, that's a minus 3. Okay, then below 2 by minus 2, that's a minus 4, plus 5 by 3, that's a 15. Okay, so this is our matrix. Now let's simplify it. Minus 8 plus minus 3, that's minus 8 minus 3, we get a minus 11. minus 4 plus 15, that's 11. Okay, positive 11. So this is our final answer. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. The next question, we want to find inverse of A. So our matrix A is this. So I'm going to rewrite this matrix, then we find its inverse. Okay, so A is minus 3, minus 2, 4, and 1. Let me just double check. Minus 3, minus 2, 4, and 1. That's fine. So we want to find its inverse. We have to first of all find its determinant. The determinant we find is going to be, you multiply this, and then you subtract these ones. Okay. So when I do that, I'll get determinant is going to be minus 3 by 1, then minus a 4 by minus 2, like that. Okay, so we get ourselves minus 3, then minus here 4 by minus 2, that's a minus 8. Okay, so we are simplifying, so it means our determinant is going to be equal to minus 3, then plus a 8. So our determinant, the final answer, is equal to a 5, positive 5. Now, when we are writing our inverse of A, it means A inverse is going to be equal to 1 over 5. Then we are going to swap these two, their positions. Then the 4 we multiply by a minus, and the minus 2 we multiply by a minus. This becomes a plus. Okay, so it means our final answer is going to be 1 over 5. Then we have got a 1 here. Then we have got a minus 3 here. They have swapped positions. Then 4 becomes a minus 4. Minus 2 becomes a plus 2. So this is our inverse. Okay. Let's move on to the next question. The next question is saying, hence or otherwise solve the simultaneous equation. So if you check our simultaneous equation, we have got these numbers, which is minus 3, 4, minus 2, and 1. This reminds us of A. And then we've got an X and Y, meaning to say I can rewrite this and say I've got my minus 3, minus 2, 4, and 1. Then we are multiplying with X and Y. Then it's going to give us, we get a matrix of 11 and 4. So that's basically what we are going to be doing. Let's do that. Okay, so I will rewrite, this is minus 3, minus 2, 4, and 1, and we have our X and our Y, and we are saying this is equal to 11 and a 4. Okay, fine. Now, to simplify this, you find out I have to find a determinant inverse of this matrix, which is basically our A, and we got our inverse as 1 over 5. Then we had 1 minus 3 and 2 and minus 4 there, like that. Now, if I multiply this inverse by this value, I'll get 1001. Okay, so there is no need for us to multiply. Then on this other side, I'll get a different answer. So if you multiply 1001 by xy, you will get xy. So here we can simply come and say xy. That's the reason. Then this is going to be equal to, now we take our inverse and multiply with this 11, 4 matrix. So I'll have 1 over 5 and 1, 2 minus 4 minus 3 multiplying with 11 and a 4. Okay, so let's multiply. When we are multiplying, we are again going to do row by matrix. So I'm going to multiply last this scalar of 1 over 5 later. So I have xy, this side is equal to 1 over 5. Then I will do my row by column. So 1 times, this is possible to multiply, by the way. Remember, we did that other one, which was a 2 by 2 multiplying a 2 by 1. Okay, so it's possible. There's no need to verify this one. Now, 1 by 11, that's, so we have 1 by 11 plus minus 4 here by 4. Okay, we are done with these ones. Then we go down 2 by 11, that's 2 by 11 plus minus 3 by a 4. Okay, like that. So this is our matrix. Simplifying, I still have my x and y this side, and we are having is equals to 1 over 5. So I have 11 plus, so this is plus minus 4 by 4, that's a plus minus 16. Okay, then below 2 by 11, that's 22, plus minus 3 by 4, that's a minus 16, minus 12, sorry, that's a minus 12 here. Okay, minus 12. So this is what we have now. Simplifying it, I will have x, y, and I have is equal to 1 over 5, and 11 plus minus 16, that's 11 minus uh, 16, we get a minus 5. 22 plus minus 12, that's 22 minus 12, we get a 10. So then I can now multiply with my scalar. 1 over 5 times minus 5, I get a minus 1. 1 over 5 times 10, I get a 2. So it means our x and y are equal to, so this is basically what we have, meaning to say x is equals to minus 1 and y is equals to a 2, like that. So that's our last question, guys. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, now guys, let's answer question number 11. Number 11, we have got this vector, okay? So we are told PQ is a parallelogram. So that is very, very important. That information, PQRS is a parallelogram. What it means is that we have got some sides that are parallel to each other. If I have this arrow here going this way, it means this is also going this way. And if I have this one, this side, it means I also have this side like that. Okay, so that is very important. Then we are given the vector PQ and also PS like that. Then the point X on QS is such that QS is equal to 3x s. So what it means is that this ratio of this side of x s here is going to be times 3 to get the whole of this side here. So what it implies by that statement, it means if I have 1 here, I'll have a 2, so that this one multiplied by 3 times, it will give me the whole thing here, okay, like that. Because if you can check here, according to this statement, QS is 3 times X S from this statement, the way I've written. Okay, now let's answer the questions. The first one is saying express in terms of P and Q RS. RS, it means we are moving from R to S. We are opposing the direction of our parallelogram. So it means our RS using PQ is going to be negative 3P. Okay, 1 mark. Then we move on to the next one, SQ. We want to find SQ. SQ, SQ. It means we are moving from S to Q. S to Q like this direction. So how do I go that way? You find out I can go via SP and PQ like that. Okay, so let's go through that direction and see what we are going to find. Okay, so let's go through that direction and see what we are going to find. So using that direction, you find out I'm going to get for my SQ is going to be equal to, we said I can use SP, then I say plus PQ, that one. So for this one, SQ, I'm opposing this, so it's going to be a negative. In this one, I'm going in the same direction, so it will be a plus. So I'll get myself my answer, which is going to be equal to negative 3Q, negative 3Q for this one here, and then plus plus the 3p, this one. Okay, 3p. So that's our answer there. Then let's move on to the next one, xq. We want to find xq. So we want to find this one, xq, and we are moving from x to q. How do we go about this? Okay, so remember we have got this information here, which is very important. So we can utilize that information there. So let's use that. It means I can find xq as 2 over 3 of this whole thing. Okay, so it's going to be equal to 2 over 3 of SQ. Okay, SQ. Remember, we are finding XQ, so I'm also moving from X to Q. And for SQ, we also did S to Q, so it's the same direction. Okay, so I'm going to use that. So using that SQ, which is this one that we have calculated and we got this answer, I'll come and multiply, so I'll get 2 over 3 by minus 3Q plus my 3P. Okay, so let's multiply. It means the 3 is going to cancel these numbers here, and I'll have 2 by minus q. I'll get minus 2q minus 2q. Then plus 2 by p, that's going to be plus a p there, a 2p, plus a 2p. Okay, so that's our final answer there, like that. So these are our answers. Let's keep them. That's why I'm writing, because maybe we might want to use them. Okay, let's move on to the next answer. So this one was a minus. The next question is saying find xp. Okay, xp. So xp, where is our xp? xp, so this is our xp. I'm going to use two different methods. Okay, we want to move from x to p. So the first method, let me have method 1 here. Method 1, I'm going to say I'm moving from, to get my xp, I'm going to say xp is equal to xq plus qp. Okay, xq, which is xq, this one, then plus qp, this direction. So take note of the directions. When I'm changing, this becomes a minus. Okay, so let's answer with our vectors. So this is xp is equal to our xp, I think we calculate xq, sorry, xq, I think we calculated xq, this one. This is our xq. So we are using that answer, minus 2q. So let's write minus 2q and then plus 2p. So plus 2p. Okay, that's the vector there. Then qp is negative that, so it's minus 3p there. So simplifying, these are p's. I'll get an answer of minus 2q and a minus 1p. Okay, like that. So that's my xp using method number 1. Using method number 2, let's use method number 2. Method number 2, we are saying I can go via, to get my xp, I can find xp using direction xs, which is this one, and sp, like that. So let me write that and find the value there. It's going to be x, we said xp is going to be xs plus sp, like that. Okay, so substituting my vector xs, we have calculated xs, right? Did we not calculate xs? Okay, we did not, but we know xs is this one. We know xs is this one. Okay, so how do I find xs? Xs is going to be 1 over 3 of qs. That's going to be my xs here. Okay, so xs, I think we have xs now. So I don't have xs per se. What do we have? Sorry, xs, we have got sq. So it means when it's, I have qs and I have sq here, I'll just take a negative of all of this. So I'm going to take a negative of that. It means xs is going to be equal to minus 1 over 3 of, okay, minus 1 over 3 of minus 3q plus 3p, like that. Okay, so we simplify, then I'll write here up here. Okay, so it means my s is going to be minus 1 over 3. By this I get a plus, so I'm going to get a 1q. Okay, then minus 1 over 3 by 3p, I'll get a minus p there. Okay, minus p, 1p. So that's the first part of xs. Now let's go to the sp. Sp is basically negative that, so I'll say minus 3p. Okay, so this will give me, I've got a q here, I don't have another q, so that's just 1. So that's going to be a negative here. Sorry, what happened here? Okay, that's correct. Is it correct here? Okay, that's correct. So sorry. Okay, so we are calculating negative this one, so we have negative 3q here. Okay, so simplifying, I have got a 1q here and a negative 3q here and my minus 1p here. Okay, so we can simplify. This is going to give me negative 2q and then my minus 1p there, like that. So that becomes our answer. And if you check this one and this one, they are similar, and you can always use the one that is easy for you guys. Try to use the short one. We find out this one was very short. Okay, let's move on to the next question. The next question is now saying px produced meets SR and N, so that NP is this. So when I have this information and they're saying express NP in terms of P, Q, and H, I'll simply come and say NP, my NP is going to be equal to H multiplied by XP. The XP that we just calculated now. So our XP was what? Minus 2. So minus 2Q and a minus 1P. Okay, like that. So it means I can rewrite NP to say it's basically equal to minus 2QH minus pH, like that. So that's our final answer there. It's 1 mark. Moving on to the next question, they are saying NS is equals to KRS. NS is equals to KRS, and they say express NP, not NS, but NP. So that is very important. So first of all, I have to find what is my NS. So NS, we are saying NS is equals to KRS. We calculated RS, which is this one, so we can use that answer. So it's going to be NS is going to be equal to K by minus 3P. Okay, so we are going to use this information. So it means my NS is basically equal to negative 3P K, like that. Okay, then we now go to where we want to find NP, because this is the question now. NP using this NS. Let's go to our diagram. NP is, where's our NP? NP is this one using NS. It means I can say NP is going to be NS, and then I say minus this one. Okay, so I can come and say my NS, which I just calculated. So let me just write it up here. So I can say my NP is basically equal to NS. Okay, and remember our NS, we calculated our NS there. Okay, we had the value for NS. Then NS, then plus, we have NS, we have it, then plus SP. Okay, plus SP. So SP is negative. So our NS value is minus 3PK. Then plus SP, that's going to be a minus. Let me just write a minus there. So that's a minus 3Q. So this is another value of NP. We now have two values of NP, this one and also this one. Okay, so you find out the next question they are going to ask what are the value of H and K. So let's use those equations to find the values. So the first NS was NP is equals to H minus 2QH minus 2QH minus PH, and then the other one, so this is 1, I'm just saying 1, then the other NP is equal to negative, this one, negative 3PK, then minus 3Q, right? I think so, that's correct. Let me just double check. Okay, negative 3Q, that's correct. So that's our 2. Okay, now when we want to simplify or find the value of H, what we are going to do, we are going to take corresponding. When I have a Q, where I have a Q, I'm also going to take another one for Q there like that. Okay, so this is the other one. So let's take that one. So I have minus 2h here, minus 2h, and I'll say is equal to, here I have minus 3. So we can solve for h here, divide by minus 3 all the side, minus 2 of the side, minus 2 over all the side. I'll get h is equals to 3 over 2. Okay, that's the first one. Let's do the second one. The second one, I'll also come and get for P, where I have a P, where I have a P. So here I've got a minus H is now equal to a minus what here? Minus 3K, like that. Then I know my H value is 3 over 2, so I can say minus 3 over 2 here is equals to minus 3K. So we divide all the sides by minus 3. We also divide here by 1 over 3 minus 3. So here they cancel off each other, and this 3 and this 3 cancel off each other. So our K is equals to a 1/2, like that. So that's our K value. Okay, let's move on to the next question. After finding the values there of H and K, they say write the ratio of NS RS. Okay, I think there was this thing here. Okay, so if I rearrange this, I can divide all the side. We have got NS is equals to K RS. So I can divide all the side by RS. By RS. It's now similar to this question. So it means this ratio is basically equal to K, which is equal to a half. So the answer of that ratio is a half. That's why it's even 1 mark. So we are done with this question. Let's move on to the next question. Okay, now we are on question number 12. So what I'm going to do is, this question has got some questions that they've asked us, but there was an error on this question. You'll see later on, but we are going to solve it as it is so that we can, get something, and you can also see where the error was. Okay, so let's answer this one. First of all, I'm going to fill up this whole geometry so that we know what do we have. So if you check, for example, our line RP is passing through the center there. So it means this is 90 degrees and this is also what? 90 degrees. So let's bear that in mind, 90 degrees here and 90 here. Okay, so it means if I know this is 90, I can work out this angle and say 180 minus 90 minus 54. I'm going to get 36 degrees here. Okay, so I filled that one. Then I've got 36 degrees here. I can have this triangle now. Now I have got this triangle, guys. I've got this triangle. I can also find this angle here on X using the idea of a triangle. So I can say 180 minus 36 minus 34. Okay, so I'm getting 110 here. Okay, so it doesn't make sense even when you calculate here to say this small angle is 110 and this bigger angle is going to be 70. But anyway, that's what we have. So let's just write 110 here. So opposite is going to also be 110. Then using the idea of a straight line here, I can work out these other angles and say 180 minus 110, I can get 70 here and also here 70. Okay, so we are filled up. I can work this angle, we said it's 90, either by the idea of a triangle to say this whole is a triangle, and say 180 minus 70 minus 54, I'll get the same answer. Or else the idea of 90 minus 34 here, I'll still get the same answer, 56. Okay, fine. Then we can continue and fill up our triangle. The next one, I have I can calculate these angles here on this part here. We know it's a tangent, so this is a 90 degrees on its own. It should be a 90 degrees. So I can say 90 degrees minus 54, I will get 36 here. 36 degrees. Okay, so if you look here, even if I did not use this idea, I can use also the idea that opposite exterior is equal to opposite interior. You see, we have got 36 on those points, so we can also make use of that idea. Then I'm going also to find for this side, it's also a 90 degrees, so I can say 90 minus 40. Here we are going to get 50 degrees. Okay, so here I'm going to get 50 degrees. Now I've got 50 degrees and here I've got 90 degrees. So I can use the idea of a triangle for this one. Okay, using the idea of a triangle, I will say 180 minus 90 minus 50, we are going to get ourselves 40 degrees. So 40 degrees is for this one, for that triangle. And I think you can also see I can use this opposite exterior is equal to opposite interior there. They are the same. So we have filled much of our triangle. I think we are left with these ones. So here I can work out, this is a triangle, this one. We can find the angle there. So 180 minus 180 minus 70 minus 40, we are going to get ourselves 70 degrees here. Okay. Okay, then I've got 70 here. We know it's a 90, so it means 90 minus 70, this is a 20 degrees. Okay, I think we have filled up everything and we can now answer the questions. So the first question is saying, what is QPR? Okay, let's look at QPR. QPR, it's 50 degrees. So we can say this is 50 degrees. Okay, I gave you the reasons when I was working out these questions. Okay, so you can even use, say it's an angle on a tangent. That's how we get it. Then the next question is saying PRQ. Okay, PRQ is 40. We said opposite exterior, so this is a 40 degrees. We said opposite exterior is equal to opposite interior in a triangle. Then the next one is RQS. RQS, this is RQS, it's 70. We use the idea of a triangle after finding these other ones. So it's 70 degrees here. 70 degrees. Then the next one is PQS. PQS. We said it's 20 degrees and we use the idea of angle subtended by a diameter is 90 there. So it's 20 degrees here. 20 degrees. Then the last one, PXQ. Okay. So PXQ, we said it's 110 using the idea of opposite angles on a point. So this is 110. Okay. Degrees. Next, they are saying name correctly the triangle which is similar to triangle PXS. Okay. PXS. So let's go and find triangle PXS. PXS. Where is P? PXS. So this is the triangle. Okay. So this is that triangle that we are interested in. Okay, fine. Then they are saying name the similar triangle to that. So I'm going to write here PXS. Okay, so normally the angle X should be similar, and I can tell you that just by looking at this is a bow tie. This is a bow tie, and these angles, this one and this one, are similar. So the same should have happened to these angles here, should have been similar. Okay, that's where the problem comes in on our question. Okay, that's where the problem is lying. So it means when I'm going to name this angle, triangle, let me just try to draw it so that we are going to use it 56 here, 70, and 54. Okay, then here I've got a side of 12 and a side of 9, and this is an X, S, and P here. So this is similar to also a triangle which is X and going forward there like that. Okay, that bow tie which is Q here and R. And here we have got a side of 8. So this is similar. We have a 70 here degrees. So we can say it's similar to, because they started with a P, which is this one, we can say a Q, Q, S, QX, QX, and then R. This is the triangles that are similar. Okay, then we move on to the next question. They are saying calculate the length RX. RX. So we want the side RX, which is basically this side here. Okay, this one. So I can use the idea of similar triangles and say, since they are similar, I can say 12 is similar to 8, which is this side. So I can say my SP side is similar to my QR side. So if I'm now looking at the RX, I can say my SX is also going to be similar to my RX, okay, like that. So using that information, I can say the values for SP, that's 12 is to 9, is to 8, sorry, is to 8. This is 8 centimeters here. S to 8, then SX, that's a 9, S2, this is RX is going to be more. Okay, so using that idea, I can come and say I will have more. It's going to be less, sorry, it's going to be less because this side is less. So I can say 9 over 12 times 8. Then we get the value of our RX. So this is going to give me 6 centimeters. 6 centimeters. So it means that other side is 6 centimeters here. Okay, then let's move on to the last question. They are saying find the ratio of the areas of these triangles. So you can even see that's where it comes from. Even if we had failed to identify the triangle that are similar, they are also here. So that's where they made an error on their question. So we are going to find the idea of calculating the areas. We can even use the area and say triangle. We can say triangle QRX over triangle PSX. Then we use half. You can use half AB sine theta divided by half AB sine theta again. And if the angles were going to be fine and equal, everything was going to work. But I'm not going to use that method because you find out these sides that I have, the A and B, these ones, their angles here, they are different. Here I've got 40 and here I've got 56. So it's not going to work using that. So because of that, I will use the ratio of their sides. Either I can use 6 over 9, or I can use 8 over 12. So I'm going to use the one that is simpler. I'm going to use the 6. So using the idea of area sides, I'll say 6 centimeter because it's area I'll square it over the other one, which is 9 squared. I'll get myself 36 over 81. So that is the ratio. You can even simplify it. Okay, guys, this was 2025 June paper 2. Please remember to subscribe on our YouTube channel, Mobilemaths, and like and share with your friends. Otherwise, for now, bye-bye from Try.